Jaleesa, oh my God, you're so smooth.
You know this name always Tommy.
But I want to ask you, as an artist who I know, I met Mr. Ford doing Queen Sheba's show, Don't Be Stupid, and he has an initiative where to stop the Willie Lynch theory. Now, a lot of people who don't know about Willie Lynch, it is a theory. It's been researched. It's not necessarily true, but it has become true. So regardless of whether it's a theory, myth, whatever, it's enacted every day amongst us all the time. So he has this initiative where he brought poets and singers together, and we performed at different venues around Atlanta, historical places like the King Center and the Auburn Avenue Research Library. But what really touched me was this brother really wants to change. He wants unity amongst black people, and as artists, I feel like that's our responsibility no matter what aspect of art you choose to be your endeavor, period. So why don't you speak about what made you decide, I mean, you don't have to care, you know, real talk, you know, and moving to Atlanta inspired that, or if it's always been in you, and what you feel like an artist's responsibility is to the community and their people.
Wow. First of all, I'm honored to be on this panel. I don't think I'm qualified to be on this panel. These smart people up here, I'm not that bright.
Yes, you are.
But I just care. You know, it's funny that I hear more 100 times a day about whether Tommy has a job or not. And when we came up with that, I fought it like crazy. My dad was an MP in the Navy, and he had a saying that said, nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream, get off your butt and do something. And it was 6 o'clock every morning, we would have to get up in the morning and do something. If it was chores, you had to read a book, we had to do something, but we were never allowed to have idle time. So, our second season, we sat around the table. We start off every episode with the table read. We would read the script, and the writers are there, and they give us notes of something we're uncomfortable with, and we're reading, and after the first episode, second year, you know, you take a summer break, and you come back, you don't really remember. So we read the first script. The script says about meeting Tommy after work, and then Mark would stop and go, wait a minute, do you even have a damn job? I said, yeah, man, I have a job. We did all these episodes, and everyone's around the table laughing. Like, God, that's not funny. I mean, I have a job. Remember, we did this episode, we did that. I gave examples of that. Now, writers like, let's keep it. Yeah. Oh my God, this is the worst thing. My dad gonna kill me because I don't have a job. Yeah. I believe that two things. One, that's your first question. There's a difference between my job and my occupation. That my occupation, the things I do to get a check. For her job, for Ms. Smith's job, her occupation was to be a teacher. But what she instilled in you was more than just about her occupation. Yes. I believe that when we're doing our job, we're doing what we are born to do. Right. I believe that art is ministry. I believe that the world cannot live without art. I believe that the world cannot live without artists. That God gives us our ministry to give color and brightness and solution and something to the world. When folk are sad, they turn to art. When they are happy, they turn to art. When they are bored, they turn to art. When they want to celebrate, there's music and there's song and there's all forms of art. So I believe that our ministry is our art form. But also young people mirror the images of those they perceive are cool. But most are artists. Yeah. Be it rap or actors or athletes or what have you. Whether it's fashion, whether it's vocabulary, they are duplicating something that some artists at some point put before them. So the idea became, why not put some ideals before them that are empowering, that are productive, that can let them see their own beauty and their own power, and hopefully they can duplicate those. So that's really where that came from, and it's something I've always been a part of. It just happens to be here in Atlanta to do that.
So you see a lot of artists though doing that though, especially like actors, and I know not so much in the rap world as it used to be, as we all are disappointed in, but with the actors, like with the Trayvon Martin situation that occurred, it was the actors who put out the video and the love and we're here to support you first, which I was like shocked. I was like, you would think that the rappers would get together first before, you know.
A little are doing many things in the community. However, there are some artists who need to do just what they do. Amen. There used to be a saying that a village takes a village to raise a child. Well, there's some villages I don't know anywhere where my child. Many of our villages are ill. Many of our neighborhoods are ill. They're sick. They're contaminated. And I don't want my babies around them. So there are some artists and actors who have wonderful gifts and great talent. There are some who just need to keep doing art. Amen.
What about this for the whole panel and Minister Server, who's the minister of the Temple of Hip Hop? I just want to, ask this question. What about the people that you know better? You know what I'm saying? Like, I am the hugest Jay-Z fan, and I hate Jay-Z at the same time. Like, because Reasonable Doubt is one of the greatest pieces of art ever to me. I cry when I hear it. But for him to consciously say, since I made $5 million, I won't rhyme like common sense, but it doesn't make any common sense if I, like for money. So, and we applaud that. We continue to support that. So what do we do? And you all can chime in, raise your hand if you got feeling any kind of way. What do we do, sister? What do we do to those? How do we hold them accountable? And what is our plan of action?
I think I was raised in Brooklyn, and I was in the park jams with LL and KRS and all those guys. There's a difference between hip hop and rap, personally. I think that there's a real misconception that because you can, spit a couple of lines and you got a dope track behind you, that you're a hip hop artist.
Which means you're for the culture.
You know what I mean? There's a big difference between being a performer and being a hip hop artist. KRS says there's a difference between being a rapper and an MC.
Yes.
A rapper can't be an MC, but an MC can be a rapper. And I think when you detach yourself from what it was that brought us to those park jams in the first place, which was a forum was given for me to be able to express myself. A forum was given for me to be able to educate. A forum was given for me to feel like something, and you were celebrated by your community, and you weren't detached. You weren't living in the high-rise in Tribeca. You were coming off the block. So,
is there a way for you to be in the high-rise and Tribeca?
I think there is, but I also think that we have all fallen victim to the system, which is, East Coast, West Coast wars make dollars. I've made $5 million. I'm now going to, remove myself from the very place that I come from. It doesn't serve me. You see what I'm saying? To be represented that, because if I speak out on Trayvon, then that might mess with my money. And so I think, where a man's heart is where he puts his energy. And so why get mad at Jay-Z? Why not develop a record company that promotes the more conscious hip-hop?
But see, when you got people like this, is my opinion, and we're going to go to Kalonji and then Minister Server. And I know, Tom, you want to say something too. Well, then I'm just going to let y'all talk. I don't need to say it. Kalonji, say what you want to say.
Yeah, I think the thing is two things. One, we were known a few years ago for checking rappers, singers, entertainers. We roll right up on them and we roll deep and we let them know wherever they go, we're going to be there. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, it's like some artists you think know better, but there's been many artists that we've actually sat down with that were clueless as to what's going on. So first and foremost, a lot of times people think that when you get dollar, that means you got common sense. Now, somebody like Jay-Z, he's a very intelligent man, so I'm not going to give him a pass on that. You know what I'm saying? But he has done things subliminally. You know what I'm saying? He did do a track with Dead Prez. He did rock the Shaker Bear and get folks into that and the red, black, and green show and so forth. Now, am I giving him a pass? No, of course not. I'm not a fool. However, like I said, if we don't make things hard for folks to move around, you understand what I'm saying? Then they're going to do what it is they want to do. If there's no accountability, it's just like your child. If your child, you're not going, as quote the elders, whoop your child's ass. I can say it, she said that. Okay, you're not going to whoop their ass, and you want to expect them to do certain things. You can't expect them to do what it is you ask them to do if you're not putting them in check. Many times, like I said, man, we rolled up on literally everybody from Snoop Dogg to Mos Def. Before Mos was really saying what he's supposed to be saying, sometimes sometimes you gotta educate folks. You gotta get up close to them and say, look, dude, I hear what you're saying and all that, man, but you ain't saying the right thing. But hold on, man, it ain't my responsibility. Okay, check this out. These guys over here don't even understand why I'm still talking to you. You understand what I'm saying? Either we can do the right thing or we can do the right thing. You cannot go into our hoods with empty pockets and leave with pockets full of money, bags full of money, and the conditions are still the same.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying? So there's responsibilities, but at the same time, we can't put all the responsibilities on the artist either, because of the fact that many of you don't even support the artist, but you expect. I mean, like you hit the lottery, you're gonna come feed the people.
Yeah.
If you go hit, I mean, some of you, but let's keep it fun.
Yeah.
That's not on your priority list for a lot of folks. You know what I mean? So you can't expect the next man to be thinking the same thing, thinking that way either. So like I said, accountability is job one, but we got to be consistent with what it is we're doing, because you have a lot of folks in the conscious community that are full of shit. Let me just say that. You understand what I'm saying? That's straight up and down. You understand what I'm saying? And they think that they're gonna just keep rolling up on folks, and they have nothing to show for it. So then when folks that are really sincere about what's going on roll up on them, and they're like, look, dude, man, I just gave the clown number 3 over here, or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So again, we gotta make sure that we're holding them accountable, but at the same time, hold ourselves accountable and make sure we're consistent with what it is we're doing. Because if we're consistent, everything's gonna go on. I'm gonna give a rap group that came out to the Feed the People program with us yesterday, Travis Porter. For all practical purposes, they're not on no conscious quote-unquote thing. They came out, they made an effort. You understand what I'm saying? So with that, regardless of whether I agree with their politics or they agree with my politics, people got fed. We fed over 300 people yesterday. That was the goal.
And I'm with you on that. We're going to go to Minister Servant. I just want to say a side note. Most rappers that I know in Atlanta, from T.I. to Jeezy to Ludacris, are very heavily involved in doing community activities. And I don't see that from other rappers across the country. That might be just the environment that they're bred in, you know what I'm saying, to be, independent about yourself or whatever. But we still need to make them accountable, and that you all should be the ones helping your community. Like, I live in Fort Greene.
But it's easier to hide in other areas. In Atlanta, you can't hide. You understand what I'm saying? Atlanta's more condensed. So it's like, there's not too many places that an artist can just go and not bump into somebody.
Okay.
So if you say you from Bankhead or whatever, so on and so forth, you're going to run into somebody from Bankhead and Lenox Mall.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You might run into them over there. But in New York, you can go to Manhattan and in the village somewhere, and everybody, the people that's going to check you might not be there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Totally
So
right.
in Atlanta, it's kind of a forced situation.
Yeah, you're right. Totally right. Minister Servant in time.
Yeah, I think the system, made an excellent point about when we look at the origin, and, I, talked to from young people to adults, but primarily in 2012, what I'm really looking to do is talk to us, those that are 30 and older, because we understand, or at least we have an opportunity to understand what it was, what it is right now, and we have the power to make it what it's going to be. Tommy talked about the village. They say it takes the village to raise a child, but I agree with them. If the villages are crazy, if the villages are out their mind and not caring about the youth, then we see the results. And we can look at it in so many different areas, but when it comes to the arts, I agree. Music is the only thing that doesn't need your conscious cooperation for it to get into your self-conscious.
Yeah.
And our enemies, and there are many shades that come, so please don't get into the racial aspect. Our enemies understand that the main thing is control of the people. Control of the people. And rap music really came out in 1979. So it's not like it's ancient music, but because it pulls from so many ancient elements, it stays current, and it's able to pull from the past and project to the future. So why not use that? The same thing that empowered us and made us stand upright, because we heard X-Clan and Boogie Down Productions and Free Latino that made us stand upright. Why not use that to turn around and make our young people look at themselves in a lower conscious?
Yeah.
What more brilliant idea could you use than to do that? And yet it is us, the 30 and older, that have allowed this to happen, that are continuing to let it happen. These rappers have no power, they have no authority, they don't say what song get on the radio, they don't say what the show, they have no authority. All of